Hello everyone, welcome to another series of today's GK. Let's begin with previous day's practice question. Question was, consider the following statements regarding authorized economic operators. 1. It is a program under the aegis of World Customs Organization. 2. It aims to enhance international supply chain security. 3. It is a voluntary compliance program. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none? The correct answer is option C, all 3. Recently, India and UAE signed a mutual recognition arrangement for authorized economic operators, that is AEO. AEO is a program under the aegis of the World Customs Organization's safe framework of standards. Hence, statement 1 is correct. The program aims to enhance international supply chain security and facilitate movement of legitimate goods. Hence, statement 2 is correct. AEO is a voluntary compliance program, hence statement 3 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Now let's begin today's session. First question is, consider the following statements regarding National Human Rights Commission. 1. NHRC is a constitutional body. 2. They do not have suo motu power to inquire into any case of violation of human rights. 3. The chairperson and members hold office for a term of 5 years or until the age of 70. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, only 3 or none? The correct answer is option D, none. Recently, NHRC issues advisory to centers, states and UTs to mitigate deliberate self-harm and suicide attempts by prisoners. The National Human Rights Commission is a statutory and not a constitutional body. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. The Commission has the power to inquire suo motu or on a petition into complaint of violation of human rights or abandonment thereof for negligence in the prevention of such violation by a public servant. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. Chairperson and members shall hold office for a term of 3 years from the date on which he enters upon his office or until he attains the age of 70 years, whichever is earlier. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. Next question is, in the context of Indian biodiversity, what is the IUCN status of Oriental White-backed Vulture? Least concern, critically endangered, near threatened or vulnerable? The correct answer is option A, least concern. Recently, the vulture conservationists and experts have welcomed the central government's move to ban veterinary drugs aceclofenac and ketoprofen that are fatal for vultures. The Oriental White-backed Vulture is a critically endangered species according to the IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature. 3 gyps species, namely long-billed vulture, Gyps indicus, Oriental White-backed Vulture, Gyps bengalensis and slender-billed vulture, Gyps tenuirostris, found in India are critically endangered. The decision taken on the ban by the Drugs Technical Advisory Board in May is the second big step towards vulture conservation since the banning of diclofenac in 2006. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, Yucatan Peninsula lies between which two water bodies? Gulf of Paria and Caribbean Sea, Gulf of San Matias and Gulf of Paria, Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea, or Pacific Ocean and Gulf of California? The correct answer is option C, Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea. Recently, the archaeologists in Mexico have discovered the remains of an ancient Maya city deep in the jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula. Yucatan Peninsula lies between the Gulf of Mexico to the west and north and the Caribbean Sea to the east. It includes the Mexican states of Campeche, Quintana Roo and Yucatan, and in the south, large parts of Belize and Guatemala. The peninsula has a mean breadth of about 200 miles, that is 320 km, and a coastline of about 700 miles, that is 1100 km. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. Next question is, sometimes seen in the news, the Miyawaki method is associated with which of the following? Small urban forest, prevention of ozone depletion, archaeological excavations, or ancient irrigation system? The correct answer is option A, small urban forest. Recently, the Prime Minister during his latest Mann Ki Baat episode spoke about Miyawaki plantation, the Japanese method of creating dense urban forest in a small area. Named after Japanese botanist Akira Miyawaki, this method involves planting 2 to 4 different types of indigenous trees within every square meter. In this method, the trees become self-sustaining and they grow to their full length within 3 years. The methodology was developed in the 1970s with the basic objective to densify green cover within a small parcel of land. The plants used in the Miyawaki method are mostly self-sustaining and don't require regular maintenance like manuring and watering. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award or TNNAA is conferred by which of the following ministries? Ministry of Home Affairs, Youth Affairs and Sports, Culture, or Ministry of Human Resource Development? The correct answer is option B, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Recently, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports has invited nominations for Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award 2022. The Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India confers the National Adventure Awards called Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award. They are presented to recognize the achievements of persons associated in the field of adventure and to encourage young people to develop the spirit of endurance, risk-taking, cooperative teamwork, and quick, ready, and effective reflexes in challenging situations. Usually, one award is given in 4 categories, namely land adventure, water or sea adventure, air adventure, and lifetime achievement for adventure activities on land, sea, and air. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding summer solstice. 1. In Latin, solstice means sun stands still. 2. On this day, the longest day in southern hemisphere falls on 21st June. 3. Sun is directly over the equator. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option A, only 1. Recently, 21st June marked the summer solstice. In Latin, the word solstice means sun stands still, hence statement 1 is correct. On 21st June, summer solstice marks the longest day in northern hemisphere, not in southern hemisphere. Hence, statement 2 is not correct. The sun is directly over the Tropic of Cancer, or more significantly right over 23.5 degrees north latitude. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. During the solstice, the Earth's axis is tilted in a way that North Pole is pointed towards the sun. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding Heliopolis Memorial Grave Cemetry. 1. It is situated in Cairo, Egypt. 2. Heliopolis Port Tehfik Memorial and the Heliopolis Eden Memorial are 2 parts of it. 3. The Heliopolis Eden Memorial commemorates the memory of nearly 4,000 Indian soldiers who died fighting in the First World War. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3, or none? The correct answer is option B, only 2. Recently, Indian Prime Minister paid respects at the Heliopolis Port Tehfik Memorial in the Heliopolis War Cemetery. It is situated in Cairo, Egypt, hence statement 1 is correct. This cemetery is divided into 2 parts such as Heliopolis Port Tehfik Memorial and the Heliopolis Eden Memorial. Hence, statement 2 is correct. The Heliopolis Memorial commemorates the memory of nearly 4,000 Indian soldiers who died fighting in various campaigns in Egypt and Palestine in the First World War. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the Mineral Security Partnership or MSP. 1. It is a Japan-led critical mineral club. 2. It aims to catalyze public and private investment in critical mineral supply chains globally. Which of the statement or statements given above is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2? The correct answer is option B, 2 only. Recently, India has joined the Mineral Security Partnership. It is a US-led collaboration of 14 countries. Hence, statement 1 is not correct. Besides the US, the MSP includes Australia, Canada, Finland, France, Germany, Japan, the Republic of Korea, Sweden, UK, the European Commission, Italy, and now India. It aims to catalyze public and private investment in critical mineral supply chains globally. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It will enhance growth in India's mobility through the conversion of large part of public and private transport to electric vehicles. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Next question is, consider the following statements regarding the radio telescope. 1. It uses radio waves from 1 mm to more than 10,000 km in wavelength. 2. It collects faint radio waves from deep space and amplify them. 3. It is launched in orbit for better collection of radio waves. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none. The correct answer is option B, only 2. A radio telescope helps scientists to see the universe using radio waves. The radio waves with the wavelength from 1 mm to more than 10,000 km are used in it. Hence, statement 1 is correct. It collects faint radio waves from deep space with the help of other equipment, focus and amplify them for scientific study. Hence, statement 2 is correct. It can detect radio waves from a number of celestial objects such as stars, galaxies and black holes. It is ground-based and not in orbit due to its large size of antenna used. Hence, statement 3 is not correct. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Last question is, recently a Wagner Group is in the news. It is a voluntary export control regime, a private military company, a pro-Ukrainian group or a peacekeeping organization. The correct answer is option B, a private military company. Recently, the Wagner Group is in news for its rebellion in Moscow, Russia. It is officially called Private Military Company Wagner. It was registered as a company in 2022 and opened a new headquarters in St. Petersburg. It was first identified in 2014 when it was backing pro-Russian separatist forces in eastern Ukraine. Earlier, it was a secretive organization operating mostly in Africa and the Middle East. It is thought to have mostly veterans of Russia's elite regiments and special forces as fighters. Therefore, option B is the correct answer. Now it's time for the practice question. Consider the following statements. 1. Prokaryotes are multicellular and their DNA is packaged into a nucleus. 2. Eukaryotes are complex, multicellular organisms. 3. Eukaryotes have mitochondria and their DNA is not packaged into a nucleus. How many of the statements given above is or are correct? Only 1, only 2, all 3 or none. Send the answer of this question in the comment section. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.